All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
This sucks.
And welcome back to another episode of Will of the Council. As always, I've got Jordan in the booth.
It's Valentine's Day. Mwah.
I've got Danny, who has not yet accepted my proposition to be his Valentine.
That's true, and I'll keep blocking you.
And we've, of course, got Becky on the ones and twos. How is everybody doing this Valentine's Day? Do you all have a Valentine?
Well, yes. I'm
Yes.
married. I have an eternal
Whoa,
Valentine.
whoa. I heard a yes from Danny as well.
Yeah, my entire chat.
Do I have competition?
Yeah.
Oh, I could easily take your entire chat.
Every subscriber, every Patreon
I've seen those people posting videos after each one of your streams. They're like 80% kidney stone by body weight.
That's fair.
I could definitely push them over.
That's yeah.
The difference between your average sub and me is the difference between me and Jordan. So I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, that is a
you
pretty
have
big difference.
high percentage that you're probably winning that one.
I did want to talk to you all about one thing in particular. Did you all see that Jonathan Stewart is back?
Yes, I did.
yes, I did. I was like, huh? Who's? Oh, yeah. Yes, I did.
It's I mean, on one hand, it's certainly frustrating that like we just cannot progress culturally from like the early 2000s. Like the entire human civilization froze in 2001 and we never changed in any sort of meaningful way. But on the other hand, he's just so much better at the job than anyone else.
Yeah.
That's
Yup.
true.
Yup. It's really true. He's really good. Him and John Oliver, I really do love the way they approach these things. It is just anti anything else, you know.
Yeah, my most libbed up aspect of myself is that I do love Jon Stewart and John Oliver.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Oliver, I will say, I think he represents like a style of lib that doesn't exist. Like Epic Bacon guys who were doing lib stuff. He's still doing like, and you don't believe that this little squirrel, which we have named Nuts McGinty, is, he's just like this kind of like Redditor liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart, I think, is refreshing just because his archetype of lib is something we haven't seen in like a decade. It's like a now extinct species of lib being thawed out from a large ice cube. It's like the Bush era reply guy who were making like flash movies that called like Bomb Saddam or whatever,
Right.
you know?
No, it's good. It's good to see. I saw it was surprisingly, Twitter gave me a piece of news that was valuable. Still, it's got some life left in it.
Yeah.
And I saw like a video clip of Jon Stewart, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's back, and this is good material. Like, it was great. It was. Nice to see.
It's funny. The reason that was circulated on Twitter though wasn't because it was valuable news. It was because a bunch of blue check Krasserstein style hang-ons were like, Jon Stewart is going to cost Joe Biden the election by doing a bit. And all I have to say is like, if you think comedy people can cost someone an election by doing a bit that's so funny it dooms their chances, pay us on Patreon or we're going to throw the election.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell. Like, we are going to hold this nation hostage. Kanye is going to be president by our hand if you don't subscribe to us on Patreon.
The world leaders are going to be chosen from this point on based on who's the funniest, which is unfortunately actually how
it's
it
terrible
works.
news because it's Trump, right? Like that he just wins.
Yeah. That's how it worked. That's how it worked.
Trump like
cycle.
adjusts his tie and does a tight five about like how wind turbines kill bald eagles, and everyone's like, "Oh, that is pretty funny." Unfortunately,
yeah, exactly.
Well, the cultural impact
semi-lucid
of Jon Stewart, it kind of feels like right now, it feels similar to like kind of when Stephen Colbert was kind of at his prime, right? Like, that kind of like late night show that people are like, oh, wait, this is good and funny, and this guy's actually makes sense. Not saying that they're like the same, but that I get the same feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's it's like mainstream political joke comedic commentary that's actually good, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a while since I've seen that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people I think rightfully deride like the state of like late night television, but I did think it was important like nationally that there was just some thing that everyone just sort of tuned in and watched that you could talk to your coworkers about the next day. And you know, if he brings that back, that's fine.
Yeah.
I am glad you brought up Colbert though, because wow, what a fall from grace on that guy.
For sure.
Oh my God, yeah.
I do love when you talk about I think it was football that you talked about this on, where it was
Football.
like the thing that's great about football is that football is like the thing that we all had, that we all were able to talk to each other about, like regardless of political affiliation or background or whatever. You can't binge football faster than somebody else did on Netflix, right? It's like football is the same day, we all watch it and we all talk about it, and that's like the glue that's like holding, you know, society together. Now, unfortunately,
it's like a shared experience.
True, it's a shared experience. It's exactly right.
It's like you think about the history of America, like what is it but the collective sharing of experiences? You know, like the oppression we felt under the British, the events that we all get together and celebrate, like football, 9/11, you know, like every cultural touchstone is a thing that we all did together. Marvel movies, but now that the Marvel movies can be watched on a different time frame, now it doesn't work anymore.
Exactly. And also the problem is that football is woke and vaccinated now. So
that's
football
true.
is woke and vaccinated.
I can't believe it.
They vaccinated the football.
Yeah.
that's why in when the Chiefs played the Ravens, the ball flew out of Flowers' hands.
Yeah.
It's because he speared his palms on the spike proteins that were shedding off the ball.
Yeah, the ref hands.
When they pump up the football, it's not pumping it with air, it's pumping it with COVID vaccine.
It's true. It's literally true. It's like liquid now. It's like you slosh it around.
Well, the ref hands me the football. I go, vaxxed?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got to bring football back to its roots. It's got ball in the name. It's supposed to have truck nuts on the football. No, but it was fun watching John Stewart again, and it was fun watching people get mad about it. I'll be honest, it was fun watching people be like, John Stewart is going to destroy America, and it was like, God,
wow.
could you imagine?
Good job.
Yeah. Finally
Good
somebody
stuff.
did it.
I mean, it was probably speaks to the resiliency of the nation if like the 7th best talk show of the late 2000s is able to annihilate it. But today we're going to be annihilating our sanity with a couple of Will of the Councils. And I'm super excited to talk about our first post because I throw these up a couple of days in advance and we all take a look at them, decide how we want to feel on them. But we have to start taking screenshots because sometimes they get deleted. And our first one was deleted. It is no longer, you're not going to find it. The only way you're going to be able to hear this incredible tale is between me and Danny and Jordan. Are you two ready to jump into this one?
I'm so ready.
I'm so ready.
We are carving this into the Library of Alexandria with our mouths.
And our screenshots. You mentioned that we all read them beforehand. I was pretty busy recently, so these are all going to be new to me.
Oh, you're going to love this first one. All right. This one comes from u/long. You know, I actually probably shouldn't say their name because if they deleted it, maybe they were so embarrassed they don't want it associated with their username anymore. But here's the post. My BF 35M recently shamed me about oral. Is it a red flag or normal?
Yes.
Okay. Let's
frame one, Jordan. That was like world record speed run. Any
you don't know what she's being shamed about. Maybe she was slonking his shit silly style, and he was like, "You can't do that."
You can't be doing that, white baby.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. No.
Here we
go. I let that one slip.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
have a feeling you're gonna let something slip here, either about a
Get a little lot of
about a
slip,
gallon
bro.
of jism or some very choice words. All right, here we go. My 30F BF 35M have been together for a couple of months, and things had been going great. So great, I was starting to wonder if he might be the guy I marry. The sex has also been fantastic, and probably the best I've consistently ever had. That one's good because I think it implies that like
Congratulations.
she had higher highs but lower lows with like a high risk, high reward sexual partner. Like sometimes he was like blowing out her back walls, and sometimes like, you know, like his his fingers would explode or something. Like, but bar for bar, this guy's dick is doing work, right? He's always been a very considerate
Shut
partner.
up.
He prioritizes my pleasure. I also really enjoy making him feel good. I love going down on him and having him finish that way. I've told him I genuinely enjoy tasting and swallowing him. It turns me on, and I thought it turned him on too. But recently, he told me he thinks it's weird and kind of slutty that I like this. He thinks it's not normal for a girl to like this, and that I'm either lying to him or making him feel like he's sleeping with a slut. That really hurt me. He's since apologized, but I don't know how to move on. I feel like I can't be sexually open with him again. I don't know what to do because, like I said, until this moment, I felt like I might marry him. I can't tell if I'm being ridiculous or not. Should I just move on and accept his apology, or is this a red flag? All right, I'm going to need you to take your hand off your wiener, Jordan, and give us one word that describes what should happen to this man.
No, hold on. I won't do that, but I'm gonna explain any normal man if he ever finds himself in a relationship like this. Hold on. I've been feeling trapped, baby. Right? Like that's just how a normal man would react. But look, what? I don't understand.
I think men got to be stopped,
People
right?
have already made jokes that I'm like the. Well,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, men need to deserve nothing. People have already like joked that I'm like the prudish, kink shamey one.
I feel
you?
like you're like that
I feel
for
like you're
everything except for gulping down milk.
Eye contact missionary. No, this
It's
is
kind of not fair to you because of we've seen some insane posts here.
Yeah, I know. Nah, this sucks. I'm sorry, dude. Grow up. What is wrong with you?
It's amazing. It's like getting your fucking wiener all drooled on, and you're like, I
my
think you're
God.
actually enjoying it too much. Aren't women supposed to hate having sex with their partner? I don't get it.
I don't like.
Wait, it's she hates that she
No.
swallows.
It's not that. It's
right? Or I'm
the
confused,
fact
maybe.
that she enjoys giving head is a turnoff for him because he
Okay.
thinks only slutty women like giving head. So either she's slutty or she's lying.
Hold on. No. Wait. Okay. I really want to make sure I understand. It says, I also really enjoy making him feel good and actually love going down on him, of course, and having him finish that way. So I guess we don't know if she swallows or not. I've told him I genuinely enjoy tasting and swallowing him. I think that's the implication. It turns me on, and I thought it turned him
Either
on
way.
too.
Listen,
Sure,
this
sure.
woman is
Just wanna make
30.
sure.
We're not fucking 15-year-olds like fooling around behind their parents' back. If a woman swallows, it doesn't mean that she's like I like there's just so much going on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, I wanted to make sure. It just makes her even more. It makes him more
Yeah.
bullyable if she's also like, "Oh, I enjoy swallowing." Like, that's great.
It's also like
Yeah.
normal. Like how are you going to
Look-
call like a 30-year-old woman a slut? Right? Like she has like a
That's the thing. I
mortgage.
was
She
gonna
has like a
say-
401k. Like you're not gonna be able to be like, oh, she's been around with the entire football team. Like
Right, exactly. It takes me a minute because, like, even though this is the one I read beforehand, even though it takes me a minute to like divine,
you a minute
where
to
I
quit.
land at on some of these. That's actually, Shut up. Even though it takes me a second to like get here to get to my opinion, I'm like, okay, that's the thing. Like, bro, you're in your 30s. Like, of course she's had sex before. How can you have this expectation that you want, like, you know, a pure and like virgin-esque sort of woman?
Even if she's as pure and virgin-esque, she also can't enjoy giving head.
What the?
Why don't men like sex?
Wild.
Like, I see this all the time. It's like, do men even like women? Like, do straight men even actually like women? And then I see these things and I'm like, that's a valid question. Like, do straight men actually like women?
I've heard this occasionally where it's like, oh, these guys aren't like into sex. They get off on like the power of the situation, right? But this guy isn't even doing that, because this woman is like, oh yeah, I'll slonk your shit silly style, and he's like, no.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
like
me receiving the Gluck Gluck 80 Jillion. This is bad, actually.
Sorry, I heard 80 Jillion and got so hard I passed out for a second. When
Oh, right.
You know, I also was like, oh, I think he's gonna pass
80
out.
Jillions. I can only handle one. Oh my god.
Okay, but like he I guess he apologized, but like, I don't know. I'm sorry. That's the ick.
No, her describing like, can I go back, is describing the ick, but like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, because like, using, not only are you insane for, you know, not enjoying, I mean, you know, not enjoying whatever your blowjobs or whatever it is, like, you apparently it's the sex is great and you're like, oh, but you're having too much fun, but also that he used slut as like a sort of slur here ish. Like,
yeah,
what year is it? This is insane to me.
It's obviously meant like a pejorative, and like you said, like he feels like you're enjoying sex too much, which is like,
yeah,
this just weird old belief that sex is supposed to not be super enjoyable. I don't know. It's just so
weird.
Bizarre. It's just a weird old mentality of sex between a relationship.
No.
And it's just
even like 1920s George Bailey style guys. If the woman was like, well, I do believe I will give you some head, they'd be like, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, golly gosh. Their like suspenders would pop off and they go, oh, well, I do declare. I'm getting all hot and bothered.
I want to live again.
Take me back, Clarence. Take me back to get my shit sucked sloppy style.
He suddenly learns Japanese. Ikitai.
This is
I can't believe I found the throat goat.
I was gonna throw it all away for a measly $8,000. Oh.
I can't believe this podcast has brought us to do, what is it, Jimmy Stewart? Is that guy's name?
Oh
Jimmy Stewart getting head in
No, I just
okay.
The guy's the devil. I think probably the Antichrist given human form, like 100% put on this planet in order to confuse and confound women for the benefit of Satan. I can't believe it's not
shit.
that. I think there is a general societal expectation that women hate giving head. I have never found this to be the case, right? And I don't think it's that uncommon for a woman to be like into it. I don't know what this guy's history must be. Is his dick like, does it smell bad? Like, how could he have exclusively got with women who were like, oh, I'm not touching that thing?
Yeah, to give this like the most charitable case possible, right?
Yeah,
like
that's where I
that
was
this
gonna go,
guy
yeah.
maybe has his own problems, maybe has had not fantastic experiences, thinks that maybe has trauma, yada yada, and things that genuinely might imply that he thinks it's like bad or whatever, because that's what he's like grown up to learn and needs to unlearn it, and that's why he apologized. But like, I don't know. That's like, Jordan, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I'm actually happy you went into that, because I think it is important that we talk a little bit of the charitable perspective here, because like, yeah, he could have gone through, negative sexual experiences and all that kind of stuff. I definitely don't want to leave that off the table. But the thing that pushes that all away anyway is when he says he feels like he's sleeping with a slut. Like, I'm sorry, that sucks. You went from went from a situation where you could have had a meaningful discussion with your partner about, like, maybe I'm not that open about, like, my sex life, or I haven't really explored with somebody who's, very sexually active. Because there are people like that. There are people that don't have sex as much in a relationship or have not been with a partner like that, right? And you could have taken this to a scenario where you have a meaningful discussion with your partner, but that all just goes right out the fucking window when you say the word slut. I'm sorry. Even if you didn't think, like, even if that didn't mean as much to you as it meant to your partner, you are insinuating that your partner is a slut, and that shit sucks. Like, all of it's out the window now.
It's really rough because it is like there are people who have weird sexual hangups for reasons that are out of their control, right? And right. It is possible these are one of those, but just like any anything that that has impacted you in a negative way, managing that is something that you have to do and have at least a little bit of an obligation to the people you care about to look out for. It stops being something excusable when you use it to hurt someone. And that is just you. How could you say that to someone that you're sleeping with?
Oh my God. It really does feel like I just can't stop thinking about your example of being like, oh, the whole football team's gonna know. You're an adult. Yeah. Like, why would you say this?
I can't get past it.
Crazy.
I got the ick. She's got the ick. I will read you real quick the update. It says, oh, wow, this really blew up. Thank you to everyone for the support. I hadn't thought about the inverse of what he was really saying. He would rather have me not enjoy myself or not like what I'm doing while making him feel good. That thought really disturbed me. I was starting to feel down on myself and my worth because of all this and was worried I was making too big a deal out of a normal couple thing. I'm going to break it off. Thanks, everyone. Good.
Woo!
Good.
Yeah.
Can we actually say it?
We did it, Reddit. Yeah, wow.
We did it, Reddit.
We did it.
It's I don't know. I always am like, it kind of sucks that they broke up, but I think, like, if I would feel that way, like, oh, it sucks that they broke up, if he didn't say that it made it, like, the slut thing is just, it sucks. Like, you
listen,
can't,
if she wanted to save
the
if she wanted to save the relationship and he wanted to save the relationship, they'd put in the work, they'd talk about it, and he'd truly apologize and never say shit like that again. But sounds like that was never really an option.
Decision time.
You want to vote on 3?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
No, not the asshole, I think.
No, this woman.
Not at all. Not the asshole.
This
at all.
woman, I'm glad she got out, I will say.
The council has spoken.
All right, this next one is just amazing. I'm going to read the title to this, and I want you all, let's all take a moment of silence after the title to imagine where this could possibly be going. All right, this was one of the most upvoted posts on the sub last week. It's 8 days old. Comes from you Boring Protection 12. It says, "Am I the asshole for faking being sick so I don't have to participate in a rap battle in Spanish class?"
You could not craft a better title in anything. This might be the best one. This is the best title of anything I've ever read.
You wrote this one. You wrote this one. There's no doubt in my mind. U/MBT alt 2
I gotta say, before we
this
write
is
anything,
a Joseph
I know
original.
that the Friday Night Funk and mod community is pretty big. Can we get someone to make a mod of my rap battle in Spanish class, please? I feel like...
Can I be the opposition who is also speaking Spanish?
Yeah. Little phrase we love to use is inside baseball here. we do try to read these before. Sometimes we can't because we're busy, of course. But we do try to read them before we record, just to kind of each get our own like impression of what we feel about this. I talked to Joseph before the recording, and I was like, Joseph, I read the title. I am intentionally not going to read this because I need the surprise factor. I'm
so glad.
Oh my God, wow.
Yeah, it's so,
you two are
it's so
lazy,
great.
but I'm so happy I get to share this with you. All right. Here we go.
Fuck you, lazy's
correct.
He's spitting, but you know who's not spitting? This person. Let me give you the lowdown.
Yeah, right.
Not in Spanish class, that is.
Our school is doing an Around the World Week celebration. Monday was Africa, Tuesday Europe, and today Wednesday is Latin America. First off, you know, I'm not trying to say nothing, but Black History Month and the Europeans were like, we need a day all to ourselves. You know, nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think they did? Do you think they just like on Tuesday they were like, and we're annexing Thursday and Friday as well? We have a few classes, and everyone got assigned places to research, presentations, items to bring, people who have family friends from these countries to come and celebrate. I will say real quick, this seems like a fun little thing to do in class.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, it seems like fun.
But our Spanish teacher has gone all out on this shit and decided to show us off by having us do a rap battle on stage in front of the entire school.
The entire school?
Oh my
hold on.
God.
Apparently, there's some shit in Argentina or Chile or whatever called urban roosters. I personally am not familiar with this urban roosters.
Never heard of
I
this.
would imagine it's like maybe a YouTube channel or something. I'm looking it up right now. It is in fact a YouTube channel and also like some sort of like league for rap battling. Okay.
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 And Latin Americans have rap battles against each other. We speak Spanish at an intermediate level. We can understand like kids' TV shows and have basic conversations, but I can't engage in a rap battle in any language, especially Spanish. To make matters worse, my Spanish teacher assigned my opponent as Miguel, a Mexican, like actually born and lived half his life in Mexico. For some reason, he's allowed to take a Spanish class. Lazy fucker chose not to take French, Italian, or German. Let me just ask you real quick. I went to a public school. Did you have people like this?
Oh my God, I
Wait,
was this.
you-
Well, no, actually, let me preface. I'm not this kid exactly. I actually had the exact same feeling, and I wanted to take Spanish class, but they never gave me enough attention. So, because I knew most things, and so I, on purpose, avoided
That's
Spanish
so
class.
funny.
And instead I took Chinese instead. I took Mandarin. So I was not
That's
lazy,
funny.
but it's really funny because I 100% could have been Miguel in
I will
another
say
lifetime.
my school, like, we had a really, really big Latino population, and everyone did this. And I gotta say, you know, if you want to cheat in school, that's fine. Like, you do what you gotta do.
Oh,
Well,
that's
of
base. No,
course,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Every Spanish kid should take Spanish class.
I think that,
that's
like,
awesome.
And you know, if you're German, you should take German too. It's a fucking easy A. Take them where you get them. But
Yeah,
however,
exactly.
you know, as a result, we all know people who have done this, who have like set the curve in Spanish classes because they already know the language. Now,
Yep.
the plot thickens. Miguel hates me. I'm dating a girl he has a crush on. He's always trying to expose me, whatever that means. He usually starts arguments and shit and makes himself look dumb. But now that this is going to be in Spanish, this is going to be bad. Also, I hate rap music. I just can't stand this entire thing. And I know this shit is going to be filmed and end up in a cringe compilation or something. The teacher said this is mandatory. We can't refuse. I tried and she kept saying no. I told my parents about this, and they're saying they're not going to help me and this is not a valid excuse to skip school. It's 5 a.m. I told them I'm sick. My mom says I'm faking it. I told her I feel like shit, and I forced myself to throw up. She was really busy trying to get my little siblings to get ready, and my little sister was being a brat, thank you, and wouldn't take off her pajamas, so she just said, fuck it, and let me stay. She left and said, you can't skip school because you don't like what's going on. If you're not actually sick, you need to grow up. My dad texted me and said, I am pretty sure you're faking. Stop being a pussy. That got me thinking, maybe I am a coward. I should have just dealt with it. I'll update the post and explain what happened.
Oh my god! This is the plot of like a Disney.
It is.
B
Yes,
movie.
it is.
I couldn't stop thinking about that. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I guess I'll ask Danny.
Oh, wow.
Danny, how do you feel about this? Like, do you want to start?
Equivalent of being like, hey, Spanish kid, what do you think about this?
I'm not like. In my head, I was like, well, I want to hear Danny's thoughts on this, but I hope that asking him isn't going to make it be like, well, Latino, how do you feel about this one? It wasn't because of that.
Oh my god. No, it's completely fine. It's funny because I know you don't make those jokes because it's like not funny and very 13-year-old to be like, oh, you're Spanish, haha. Like there's no joke, you're just being racist. So like it's great. I'm just screwing with you. I would love to. Oh man, I love this. This is so awesome. It's truly like something in another life I've experienced. Like I understand what this kid is going through.
This didn't happen to you, but you can feel his trauma.
Yeah, like I get it, but it's also really funny to paint Miguel as this Disney villain who's gonna get him. Yeah. Like what? So I guess quickly my experience with this is I don't think this kid's a jerk for not going to school. Fuck that shit. Quick and easy, like no way. But I will say it is awesome to listen to this kid, if this is real, which I'll take it at face value. This kid speak like it's a Disney film. Go through and be like, I've got to avoid the rap battle. It's in Spanish, and I can't speak Spanish.
Do you think maybe he could like
great.
Meet with like the founder of Mexico through some sort of like time travel shenanigan who would teach him to believe in himself and speak Spanish in time for the big rap battle? Like perhaps he could go on some sort of excellent adventure and find a bunch of historical Spanish-speaking individuals to teach him.
It caught me. It was Bill and Ted. It caught me. It took me a second to realize what you were referencing, but you're talking about Bill and Ted.
This is insane. I gotta say, I mean, I guess I'll ask the obvious question, which is, why does he think Miguel is going to win in any sort of way that matters? Like, if he out-raps him in a Spanish rap battle in front of a student body that does not speak Spanish, how are they gonna know?
Yeah.
Like, what the
That's true. I mean, okay, in the defense of the kid, it's definitely something you don't really think about ahead of time. We can think about it here and be like, duh, like, dude, if you go, it's completely fine. But in the moment, I completely understand not really thinking about like, oh man, like I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to embarrass myself, blah, blah, blah. Like that I understand. Even if the outcome literally doesn't matter. Because you're right. It's so cool that the kid that's from Mexico speaks Spanish and, does an actual rap. And then the kid that can't speak very much Spanish doesn't do it and does like a bad job. And everyone's like, oh, okay. Yeah, he doesn't speak Spanish like most kids.
Like, I love the concept. Like, what are they going to... what are they gonna rap about? They're gonna be like, "Donde está la biblioteca?" Like what? Like they only know
where is the?
They only know very basic Spanish. Like what the fuck are they gonna talk about?
Donde está el baño?
Yep, this is where I'm gonna jump in, and I'm firing it away right now. The kid's not the asshole. Duh. Everybody else in this situation is actually relentlessly annoying. Like this teacher is so fucking annoying.
I'm gonna fire this in the dark. This teacher's white, right? Like we all know the teacher's white.
Oh, God, I really want to make that call, but I don't think I'm comfortable.
I know this teacher's white. I know the teacher's white. I can feel it I feel it like psychically in my heritage.
Because I feel like if you're Spanish. Like a Spanish teacher would be like, yeah, of course, I'm not going to make the kids do a rap battle. No puede hablar inglés. They can't barely speak in English, let alone Spanish.
Yeah, it's this teacher sucks in a way that is like probably I would hate this teacher more than any other teacher. And the reason why is because I cannot fucking stand secondhand embarrassment, okay?
Oh,
I hate being embarrassed and I hate watching other people do embarrassing shit. Like,
I get it.
secondhand embarrassment makes me so cringe and uncomfortable. Like, I can't deal with that. And any teacher that would intentionally force their kid to not, like, let alone get up and do a rap battle, like, for the class or whatever, but for the fucking school.
The school.
Like,
The
if it's
school?
the class, everyone
This is
else
just,
is
like,
going to
inviting
understand it's
bullying
cringe.
opportunities.
But in front of the fucking school, what are you, insane?
Yeah, you're a bad person. If the teacher ever, oh my god, if the teacher
If we ever meet.
I need you to know my first and last name, legal name, and I get to tell you.
You're going to have to
suck
report
ass.
back if it's a white person. I'm going to have to know.
You gotta tell us.
I will definitely tell
Before
you.
their face is rightly shoved into one of the lockers in their school.
Yeah, I'm gonna bully them like they would make the other kids get bullied. Like, you can't just invite bullying opportunities to kids like this. Like, I'm sorry. This is so embarrassing. This is like a thing people are gonna get made fun of for. You can't just do that to a kid in class. Like, fuck you. And also, fuck the parents
Oh
here.
my
I'm
God.
sorry. The parents suck.
Oh my god, yeah, we haven't even
Mega
talked about the
ass.
parents.
If I as a father say to my child, "You're faking, stop being a pussy," I deserve to get shot on the spot. Like, I need just like a random sniper to take me out to save my child right there.
Man.
Never say that
I
to
would
your kid.
never. I'm sorry. I just would never talk
of
to my
course
kid
not.
like this.
I understand being upset and being like, at some point you're going to have to take responsibility. It does feel a lot like the mom is like, you're just going to have to grow up and recognize that sometimes things are hard and they suck to do, but you got to get them over with. I understand that sentiment, okay?
Reasonable.
The dad being
Reasonable.
like, you're faking, you're a pussy. That's like classic epic dad parenting.
God,
It's like, can you please? The mom probably was like, can you please talk to your son? And the dad was like, yeah, sure, I can handle this. Kill yourself,
Yeah, sure.
pussy. All right, you think that worked? You think that's gonna get him to do what I want?
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally it's
Twitter
basically-
approach.
It's the new generation approach of being like, listen to your mother, like that.
Yeah.
It's just a much meaner way of saying
Ugh.
that, right? Like,
Oh, what did she say? That he's faking it? Oh, stop faking it, you pussy. Just
Yeah.
go to school. Whatever. Who cares?
I'm trying to imagine how my parents would deal with if I like got this deep in. And they would probably, do what I think I would do in this scenario, which is if the kid throws up because he's so nervous, then he is no longer faking it. Then he has earned the right to stay home.
Yes!
Like if you get yourself sick on
Well, doesn't
purpose,
he-
that's not faking. In fact, that's the opposite. That is completing.
Well, doesn't he force
That's
himself
fine.
to throw up? Isn't that different from throwing
that's
up
the
from
thing,
nervousness?
Danny. Clearly, if my child does not want to do something to a level that they are willing to make themselves vomit, they are willing to force themselves to
At that
throw
point, you
up.
just get it.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I
Right.
absolutely agree. I was
Right.
just making sure that
No, it
wasn't
was
from, like,
self-induced,
He got
yeah.
sick because then I was like,
No.
oh wow, he actually got sick. No. Okay, no, and 100% with 1,000% agreed. If
Yeah.
my kid is forcing himself to throw up to not go to school, there's something I'm doing wrong. Literally, I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, call the
I
fucking
gotta talk to
school.
my kid. Like,
Be like, what's going on? Like, what are you making my kid do that he's like so
My
nervous
kid
he's going to
is
throw up?
trying to throw up to not go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
my kid clearly does not want to go to school for something so badly. Can you please tell me what the fuck is going on
And
at school?
we don't know how
Like,
old this kid is, but like the way he's describing it, it sounds like Miguel is like a kid who's like bullying him. Like that's something you as a parent can be like, hey, can you keep an eye on, the fact that this kid is bullying my kid and he's staying home getting himself
Yeah.
sick about it.
I know it sucks to sometimes armchair
Yeah, of
parent,
course.
you know what I mean? Like,
Parenting is hard.
parenting is a thing that I'm not currently experiencing. It is hard, but you do have to listen to your kid. They are a person.
You
and,
can't say,
Yeah.
like,
get
this
over it,
shit-
pussy.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Insane.
Like sitting with a stained wife beater on a beat up leather armchair in front of while the football game is on with a Coors Light in your hand. Whatever, fucking bitch. Go to school. Like, man, fuck you.
All right,
Can we wrap around to
Yeah.
the teacher again? She
Yes.
said this
Yeah.
is mandatory. Fuck
Okay,
this teacher.
Like, I'm just
Holy
trying to wrap my
shit.
head around the situation. If it's mandatory and it's a large class, then like the entire school is going to have to sit through about an hour of these shitty raps, right? Like I think it's very possible that even if you get your shit rocked by Miguel, it's not going to be that memorable because most of these kids are going to be asleep, right? Like, how are they going to sit in an assembly for an hour? All right, here we go.
Oh my god. Wait, yeah, like
Rojo.
how could any kid enjoy this if they don't know Spanish?
they'll
They'll
zone
just
out.
like I'd sit there as a kid and be like, "Can I go? I'm going to the bathroom.
This
I'm going
teacher
to play my Game Boy
sucks."
Advance in the stall."
Yes, I snuck in my Game Boy Color and I'm gonna play Pokemon
I'm so
Gold.
glad you got me on that one.
Yes.
I'm literally playing Kirby and the Amazing Dream Mirror. Goodbye.
Oh my god. All right. I guess we can vote on this.
Decision time.
Do we think this kid's the asshole? 1, 2, 3.
No.
Oh.
The council has spoken.
I will say it is very funny that the kid was like, "I
Yeah,
hate
he just
rap
threw that out
music."
there a
And
second.
I'm like,
We're trying to
Sure,
root
kid.
for you, kid. Don't ruin this.
Yeah, exactly.
"Yeah, don't ruin." I was like, "All right, don't ruin this, okay?"
But wait.
All right, I have a little bit of an update to this post. There's an edit here that says, edit, all the schools in my district have been canceled. We have not been told why. My house phone received an automated call, and my mom texted me saying she's dropping my siblings back off. I am pretty sure, and the comments speculate about this, so I didn't pull it out of my ass. I pulled it out of someone else's ass. I'm pretty sure that he was not the only one feeling embarrassed by having to do this stupid fucking rap battle. And the comments are like, did one of your classmates call in a bomb threat to get out of this?
Oh,
Because if so, that is ingenious. You will go to prison, but that's ingenious.
You said this, and my brain did the thing where it immediately is canon. Like
It
that
has to
is
be true.
just true.
It has to be true.
That is just true.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Did you guys experience like
Oh,
bomb
yeah.
threats at school?
No, actually, I don't think when I was going to school, there
Really?
was ever a bomb
Okay, so
threat.
me and Joseph were pretty similar. In middle school, we had like, we had our, obviously they have the practice tests, but we had real like quote unquote threats where we had like the police come and, go through everyone's stuff or whatever and get us out of school or whatever because someone did a fake
Right.
bomb
Yeah,
threat or whatever.
This has happened. I know this has happened to schools in my area when I was going to school. I just never got out of school.
No, you know
because
what was
of a fake
annoying?
bomb threat. So I'm the unluckiest. But no, that's a bad joke. I shouldn't make that joke.
The reason you call in a fake bomb threat, to my understanding, is it gets you out of school for a day. And like you would do it on a day you didn't want to do something. But thinking back, I don't think I ever got off for a bomb threat. Like I can remember a couple of times where we had to stand outside the school while the police were
you're
in.
right.
And
Me
I can
neither.
remember a couple of times when they were like, be careful. Someone called in a bomb threat and then just did classes. And it was like, well, shit, man. Like, what? Are you just going to be like, the last thing you're going to learn is, trigonometry, baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they didn't cancel school for us either, but instead we had to like file a single line and go through
that
the
sucks.
police and like have the dogs like
What, they thought
sniff
the
us
bomb was
out.
on your person? Like you were the fucking Joker? You like holding it to throw at
don't know,
Batman?
dude.
It's just fucking...
I don't know what to tell you, man. This is middle school. These people are insane.
But like, you get to see a dog. It's not all bad. I don't know. I do like the concept that like this entire class is like feverishly sitting at home thinking about the 4 or 5 people in the class who speak Spanish and being like, fuck. How am I getting out of this? And one guy's like, I have to throw up. And another guy's like, I'm calling in a bomb threat. And like the kids are like jumping off bridges and shit to avoid showing up in a cringe comp.
Okay, we didn't talk about it too much, but this is public
Yes.
speaking. That's really
It's
scary.
hard for kids.
Thank you, Danny.
It's
Thank
public
you.
speaking, but
Right.
you also aren't gonna ever be able to do it well.
Yeah, times a million. You're not even speaking
Yeah.
English.
I love public speaking. I'm one of those weird sickos who enjoys like presentations and all that
You
shit.
like attention.
But still, it's true.
I have the
why
same
do you
thing.
think,
Yeah, I
why do you
get
think
it.
I'm speaking into
We're on
this
the podcast,
microphone?
baby.
But no, I 100% understand that public speaking is like a lot of people's like, nah, please do never let me do this. I do not want to do this. And just forcing kids to do this in the most embarrassing and impossibly difficult way possible. Go fuck yourself. This is the worst teacher of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I-
right there with you. I am there with
I
you
gotta know if they're
100%.
white. That's the bonus. I gotta know.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, this third one, we're gonna bring the mood down a little bit. It is a little more serious.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Okay.
it's not the most serious one we've done, but it certainly beats the hell out of can I give my boyfriend head?
Fair.
This
Fair.
I'm not actually gonna say the username who posted this because I don't want them to get hate. But this is a locked thread on Am I the Asshole from this week. We capped this one, I think, yesterday. It's only been up for a couple of days. So this one's fresh, and it's already been cordoned off, which is not a great sign.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay, so title of this one is, Am I the Asshole for not getting a tattoo removal procedure to remove my child's dead name from my body?
Oh boy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We're not in rap battle territory anymore.
Yeah, this. Whew. Okay. All
All right, here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm 36F. I have 2 daughters, one of which came out as trans a year ago. I am just hoping that they are a trans woman and the entire post doesn't just misgender them. So we're just going to assume that for the benefit of not.
Sure.
Let's call them Maria and Anna. I also would be very funny if that was just their real names. She was like,
Let's call them this.
let's call them, let's make up some fake names. Danny and Jordan, you know. I would like to start by saying that when Anna came out, I had no problem so long as her transition didn't come in the way of school or grades. The problem, however, is that I have Anna's dead name tattooed on my body. I've had the tattoo since she was a toddler. It's pretty visible as it's on my neck, and every time Anna sees it, she gets visibly upset. She's told me she's looked into tattoo removal surgery, recommended I get it removed or covered with her new name. While I do have the money for it, I don't think it's something that I can deal with. After all, it's just a tattoo, and I don't think I should have to get it removed to show my love and dedication for a new identity. Anna has accused me of not taking her seriously, and that if I truly loved or cared, I'd get it removed. I do understand getting the tattoo removed or covered would show dedication, but I don't see it as necessary. I think she's being ridiculous in pushing the issue. I'm an adult. I can make decisions about my own body just as she can. This issue has put a strain on our relationship, and now she barely looks at me these days. Am I the asshole?
Whew. Wow.
Yeah, this is a rough one. A rough
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay. Can I have detected an ick.
Kick it off,
go
buddy.
ahead and list
Okay.
out the ick?
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
I had no problems so long as her transition didn't come in the way of school or grades. What?
No, I think
Huh?
this is a reasonable thing to be concerned about. Is like, being trans and coming out as trans is a huge strain on like your social, personal relationships. Like, I could see it having a detrimental effect on like your grades. I guess what I'm getting at is, what do you mean? Like, if it had an effect, would she have been
That's
like,
what I'm
I don't
saying.
support her?
Yeah, like, oh, I declare
Yeah.
you not trans now because you got a D in science. Like, fuck you. What?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. That's not the point of the post, but I lasered in on that.
I understand. Here's what I'll say. Maybe, Jordan, this will
Okay,
make
sure.
more sense. It sounds like maybe the person posting this maybe might not understand the transition process as well as maybe he, normally, and there's maybe someone like you and I would understand it. And to them, they'll say, well, like, I don't really get it, but as long as you're still doing the things you're doing, I love you. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
guess I
mean?
could see
Like,
that.
maybe that.
Yeah, the
is what
mom
I
here,
get.
I understand. I guess I can see what you're saying.
That's what I
Yeah.
think. Now, you might be right. It's like they think schools and grades are like D equals no transition.
Yeah,
D, no estrogen this week. You're
Yeah,
grounded.
The things that I lasered on, and that's the first one. The
Yeah.
second one is, I do have the money for it, right? So
Mhm.
clearly she's saying that she has the money for the removal surgery. And isn't tattoo removal surgery like a long, painful process?
It is.
right?
It's
I wanna
painful
make sure
and
I
it's
understand.
expensive. Yes.
Yes. Wow.
This is a thorny one for sure. On one hand, you do have the mother who is like, I'm trying to be very supportive. And on the other hand, doing this would cost a lot of money and hurt a lot. I don't know, though. I mean, I don't want to do any sort of advanced hating, right? But despite the fact that this mother says, I am taking her seriously and she's accusing me of not taking her seriously, I don't think she is taking her that seriously.
I think, yeah.
It's kind of just like a vibe you get from the way she talks about her daughter. But I guess I would say the things that stuck out to me were obviously, the transition doesn't matter provided you're still getting good grades. The fact that she has like a neck tattoo and hasn't figured out anything else to do. Like, I think there's some pretty easy solutions to this, right? Like, you can wear a skin tone band-aid. You can wear turtlenecks. A lot of people in the comments are suggesting instead of getting it removed, just get it covered up into a design that's like meaningful for the pair of you. That's infinitely less expensive. It's infinitely less painful. There's a lower recovery time.
Yeah, true.
And she thinks that the point of getting the tattoo removed is because the daughter wants her to show some sort of dedication to the daughter's own transition, and she's just centering herself. Like, this is just mean as being like, the daughter wants me to do this to prove X. It's like, no, idiot. The daughter wants you to do this because if you don't, every time they look at you, they're going to be reminded of a person they aren't. Yeah. Like, it's a very visible reminder that the people in their lives are going to think of them a certain way, and you are only thinking about it in the terms of how it's going to affect you. I don't know. I understand this person's heart is probably in the right place. I get that, like, they don't want to do this long, painful tattoo removal process. But just painting this request as solely enforcement of someone else's will upon your own body and then calling it ridiculous is like, I don't know. It's your kid. Have some fucking empathy.
That's true. It's a big lack of empathy here for sure. And like, I understand that you got this tattoo of your child's name because that tattoo was meaningful to you. But now what you are doing is you are refusing to ascribe a different meaning to that tattoo, right? You need to, I think that, I totally didn't even think about the option of like getting a different tattoo or modifying it, right? I focused on the surgery or the tattoo removal surgery before I even thought about that action. Like, clearly the mom is not opposed to having a visible neck tattoo. So just cover it up, right? Like, just getting it into a design that's meaningful for the both of you is like a good parent decision to make here, right? Like, if you clearly have stated that you have the money for the tattoo removal surgery, then just get a different tattoo. Like, I don't care that it's meaningful to you. Your daughter she's a different person now. Like, you are clearly willing enough to call it a dead name, right? You're clearly enough to call the tattoo or empathetic enough to call the tattoo a dead name. So, like, you can understand why your child is asking this of you, but you are unwilling to take the next step and, move on to the next phase of her life with her, So, I don't know. It sucks. This is thorny.
Well, you say, yeah, it does suck. You said something that I agree with, that you said that she probably got the tattoo because it meant a lot to her, right? Her daughter, her name, right? But the way she speaks about it in this post, and she says it's just a tattoo, like it's something that just, I don't know, like a toy or something that you can just like throw away or whatever. Oh, it's just a thing. It's just a thing I have. It's just this permanent symbol of your name that no one says, and now I have to explain every single time, well, this is my daughter's name, but it's no longer her name, so like I kept it. I don't know, like
Yeah.
what is
it's,
the meaning
it's an
there?
important
Why?
meaningful tattoo I cannot possibly change until someone gives me a good reason to change it, at which point it's just a tattoo. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. It's just a tattoo. Why are you mad about it? It's just a tattoo. What are you talking about? You tattooed your daughter's name on your neck. Dead name. Like visibly for everyone to see. This isn't like a sleeve tattoo you can just hide with a t-shirt or something. Like you
Yeah,
need to
it's-
wear a scarf to hide it.
Obviously, I'm not going to try to pretend I have any sort of knowledge of the trans experience. Like, absolutely, I would not want to do that. But when your, I assume now daughter, from the way the post is phrased, your now daughter, Anna, is really coming to you about something that's extremely important to them. And, like, I don't know, you as a parent have to understand, you have to at least try to gain some level of understanding from your child. And I can't say it more than I said it before. It's just like, this tattoo now has a different meaning because it is harming your daughter, right? Like, what it means to you is not important here anymore. You know, the meaning has changed, and you have to change along with that, or you're an asshole, right?
Think of all the people that got Kanye West tattoos, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, like legitimately, like these are the people that make the mistakes of, putting like a name on yourself, and people aren't rigid. People aren't
Yeah.
like tattoos. They're not permanent, right? Like people change, things happen, and confining it like that, like, well, you know what it is, you'll never take this away from me. I think she's like, this is ridiculous. She's pushing the issue. That's insane to me. It's just,
I guess we're all closer to children than parents, I guess I would say. But just reading this one and the last one, it really strikes me. I understand the relationship between a parent and a child is different for each person. There's no one size fits all approach to parenting. But I was very blessed throughout my entire life to have parents that, despite the fact that I would very frequently fuck up or need to get bailed out, who always respected me. And even if this person is being accommodating in the loosest possible terms to their daughter's identity, the post just smacks of just a general disrespect that I just can't imagine having for anyone, let alone someone that you care about more than anyone else in the world. Like, do you really have so little love in your heart that you can't accommodate something like this, truly?
yeah. That's the most baffling thing to me, that it's like, this is, there's no more meaning to it, right? You can't talk about it. This no longer has a good story, which is the whole point of your tattoos, right? Usually you'll get a tattoo, maybe because it looks cool, but also because you want it, right? And so with this, like, what is this? Like, you don't even get anything out of this. Yeah, it's your body, your choice, whatever. But there's no, you're dropping off the empathy for
Every
your
time
child.
your daughter
I don't know.
looks at you, your daughter is going to see a symbol that you as a mother thought the tattoo was more important than her. That's it.
Well,
You thought the tattoo was more important than her. And that sucks. Sorry. I'll be the one to say it. The Reddit post is tagged "No assholes here."
That's
but
exactly
no.
what I was gonna. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I was gonna point out. There is
Sorry,
a Reddit
that
tag
sucks.
on this locked post that says "No assholes
Oh.
here." And if you're wondering how they came to that consensus, a number of these comments are people saying, "You're not the asshole. Your daughter doesn't have the right to tell you what to do with your body." And I guess to that I would say, as many people in the comments are saying, and for some reason wasn't sufficient to tip the "no assholes here" alarm, as many people are saying, yeah, they don't have like a legal right. Like, obviously no one has the right to make you make a decision like covering up a tattoo. But like, we're not here to deter. This isn't r/legal advice, right? It's r/am I the asshole? And you're being an
this
asshole.
Isn't an objective
Yeah,
logic question.
Exactly.
Yes,
Eh,
exactly.
I don't know. It's just sad. It's
It
sad
is-
how
It is.
people can come to this conclusion of whether like, well, I support my daughter's transition and I want to be there for her and I love her, but also it's my tattoo, like fuck off. You don't support her. Like,
It
I
is
don't
like
know.
a child
it's-
reacting to another child. Yep. No, I agree.
I don't know. It
It
is a
feels
pretty big
childish.
indictment of just like generally how culture works. That a lot of us feel this way about a lot of things. Is like, yeah, all my love and support until the very moment when I am asked to do anything.
Yep. Oh, that's so good. You guys are saying
And it's
a
just
lot
rough.
of really good
It's
points.
rough. It's
I really
do
really
want-
like what you said, Danny,
It's
about
hard.
humans are not permanent and tattoos are, and your refusal to change this in any way is emblematic of the fact that you are refusing to empathize with this your daughter's transition, right? I think that was a really good point you brought up, and the point you just made, Joseph, was also really good too.
Yep.
I'm sucking both your dicks right now because you're
Thanks.
saying very good things.
Well, I do want to highlight some of these the comments in here that I did actually give me hope. I am a little happy about some of these. I would say you are the asshole because this is what I hear reading this post. My tattoo makes my child visibly upset. I could fix it without issue, but I don't feel like it. I'm going to choose to let her suffer instead. Make whatever decisions about your own body you want. Your decisions affect others, in this case your kid. You think she may want to see you less for this, or do you even care because her happiness isn't worth getting it covered to you? And the response from someone named, by the way, this is the most Reddit username I've ever heard, CumragC137, which
Wow, I thought you were gonna say I found someone named Duck Butt Forever.
No, this
which
one
I
is
assume is a nod to
it's,
Dick Butt.
I mean, it's a reference to jerking off and Rick and Morty. Just unbelievable. And it says, why does the daughter's feelings have to mean they should alter their body and appearance for them? What right do they have? And the response is like, I suppose there's not a literal right, but that's not what we asked, not what the sub is for, and not the best approach to decide how you treat other people, least of all those you deeply care for. And thankfully that one did ratio the above quote, which is, I think, just such an evil way to live your life. But a good point in the comments as well.
Yeah.
A good reason to never tattoo someone living's name on your body. Don't do that, especially not
Yeah.
on your fucking
Just-
neck.
that's just so true.
Correct. Don't do that. Do not do that.
No, it's just like, wow, you can't even get like a symbol. I don't know. I don't understand the like need to have this decision you made be so permanent. Like, you can't understand that a human being, your child, is somebody that can grow and change, and you like your refusal to change along with them. Like, the fact that you just can't change this tattoo is so emblematic of that. Like, you just don't care as much as you say
Yeah.
you do. I'm sorry. Like, that's just
That was why
the truth. You just don't care as much.
That
as
was
you
why
say
this
you
one
do.
was so interesting to me, is because
Ugh.
it does lead off and you're like, oh, this is like a well-meaning person who wants what's best for everyone. And then you just dig just a little deeper and you're like, no, this person's actually being ridiculous. They're being ridiculous and unsupportive
Yeah.
for seemingly no reason other than like it would require them to make a tattoo appointment. So I don't know.
It's just like they go out of their way to say, yeah, I could change it, but no. Like, in the post, they literally just show their whole ass out, and they're like, yeah, I could do it. I could.
Yup.
I have the money. I could do it, but
I
I
could
don't
do it.
want to. Why don't you want to? Because, so
It's
ugh,
just a
that's-
tattoo.
ugh. I'm getting more mad the more we talk about it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I also am getting more mad. I see, like, if you go into the dredges of the comments, there's a lot of
Don't
Redditors
read
who are
the
like,
comments,
your
man.
bo-
Do not read the comments.
your body, your choice, and I'm like, I'm gonna put you
Tactical
all
Jordan
in
deployment.
lockers. Oh my god, things are not done. Jordan throwing him like a
I superhero
meteorite.
drop with the fist into the ground.
This and the school, they're getting They're getting a bomb threat, but the bomb is not an actual bomb. It's peeps.
I will school any of the motherfuckers in the comments in a Spanish language rap battle.
Oh my God, we're throwing down in Argentina
it's
right
tough.
now. Well, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like the quick snap into you're not the asshole. It's your body, your choice. It's like things are not done in simple vacuums.
That's what
of
I love
black and
about
white.
not only like
It's-
am I the asshole, but just like the Reddit culture in general. Like so much of it is like you owe no one nothing at any time, and it's like no, that's not true. Like if you want to live in a civil society,
Yes.
no, that's not true.
Or live in a civil society, or be
Yes.
a parent.
It's just not
like, like, I'm sorry, you do owe your children things. I don't know.
Literally.
It amazes me how, as someone who is cis, white, het man, like very detached from the trans experience. I have one trans family member, and there are, people I talk to in my own community and in other online communities that are trans. But truly, I do not have a lot of trans people in my life, right? And in this, just reading stuff like this, and even from my own perspective, I am so baffled by how unempathetic people are towards the trans experience to this day. It just baffles me still. Like, how hard is it to just try to learn and listen and talk to the people in your life, especially your own fucking child? Like, it's just crazy to me. I don't know. I'm not trying to make myself sound like some, savior or whatever, but really it's just baffling. So baffling to me.
All right, you ready to vote on this one? We can do a 1, 2, 3, I think.
Decision time.
Is the mom the asshole? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
The council has spoken.
It was 3 easy ones, but we did come to the opposite conclusion as Reddit. So, who knows?
Yeah.
We win is what happened.
Disclaimer for this, like, I think there's nuance to this. Of course, we all understand that she can change her body. Like, she doesn't want to change her body. There are decisions that need to be made. We don't understand the context, it's sure. But at this moment, you're kind of a jerk to me.
Man, people will jump through any hoop to find the logical scenario that says they actually don't have to do anything or change any of their behavior. They will they will do in any scenario. They will
God,
be like,
you're so right. You're just so right. And it sucks too, because I've done that before too.
oh
like,
yeah,
when,
me too. I do it all the time.
like when my wife and I moved in together and we got our house, she was like very much like, we need to recycle more. Like, we have a trash bin and a recycling bin. We should really do the work to recycle more, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, it takes an extra 30 seconds. Like, holy fuck. Like, I could just, like, why was it, like, pulling an arm and a leg to get me to recycle the fucking sparkling water cans that we drink, right? Like, why did I just want to throw them in the trash? Well, or I didn't want to recycle them because it forces me to do something different, right? That's
It's different.
That's the classic. That's the classic Reddit. It's you know what it's like is like vegetarianism is the number one of these, where like a vegetarian will show up in comments and say something like, I'm vegetarian, and then everyone will launch into a prepared 40-minute spiel about why they personally cannot be a vegetarian under any circumstances.
Yes,
They're
I
like,
know.
actually it's worse for actually it's, but I'm guilty of this shit too. I do all the time. It's like I'm out here searching like, is recycling actually worse for the environment? Like,
Yeah. Like, does it all go to the same place anyway?
Yeah.
Search.
is it
Validate my
patriarchal to
opinion.
leave the toilet seat up? Like, can I?
Yes.
Best arguments against putting on the CPAP instead of snoring and waking up your wife. Reddit. You have to search with Reddit, or else it's just gonna get you AI stuff.
Yeah. Oh, good
Yeah,
stuff.
well, here's what we can conclude on. Listener, if there is something that you have been mulling over doing, but have twisted yourself in knots, be honest with yourself, but have twisted yourself in knots because it's easier to continue doing exactly what you're doing now, let's together pledge to just for one of those things be like, no, I'm being ridiculous. I could change this really minute detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Exactly.
figure this out. It's weird, it's different, but I'll get used to it.
All right. Any closing thoughts, anybody? Do you think that we're gonna show up next week prepared for the rap battle?
Oh my god. I'm
No.
already you know what would be really funny? All I could think about was that if I was a kid in that scenario, I would just pull up and be like, okay, so I've memorized the lyrics to Gasolina. I'm just going to sing
Oh.
Gasolina.
Oh, that would bring down the house, and all the white kids would know it too.
Yeah,
like
and everyone would know it too.
Ooh, yeah. Can you do a little bit of Gasolina for us right now?
No.
I can do
okay.
the backbeat.
Okay, Spanish teacher, you're forcing Danny to
Yeah,
battle
thanks,
on the
man. In front of the
podcast.
class, in front of the
And
whole
the class
school,
is here
dude.
too. Yeah.
The class
Oh,
is the whole world. The class is the entire internet.
Really, really, dude, in front of the Patreon? Are you serious right now?
Oh my god. Now you got me wanting to listen to Gasolina. I'm gonna go look it up. Usually I have to go to like a wedding in Nebraska to hear this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.